Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miracle Population Me, and this is a first book of the year. Technically, last one was the first book. Anyway, it is February 2nd, and I'm a little late. But I did finish this book last month. It took me forever to actually get this video out. But the newest book of the month that we're talking about for this book club is A Good Marriage. Not to be confused with the last book I did, which was called The Perfect Marriage, because I did think they were the same, but a different cover. But this is a whole different book. And dare I say, kind of worse. I don't know how I feel about this book. I kind of feel like the author stopped writing at some point and told themselves, I need to make an ending, and they rushed through it. So let's talk about it. Per usual, I'll talk about the summary first, and then give my thoughts and opinion at the very end so that you guys can make an informed decision if you want to buy this book, read this book, or let this book go and read something else. So let's get into it. So this book is about this woman named Lizzie. She is a lawyer. She has a husband named Sam. He is a writer. He has alcohol abuse. So he's an alcoholic. I don't know why I said it like that. He's an alcoholic, got into several troubles, got into a car accident, had to pay lawyers a bunch of money. And because of that, his wife, who makes the most of the money, had to go into criminal law in order to make up for the amount of money they owe to these lawyers. And because of that, she has never liked this guy. She loves him, but the love that she feels for him is waning every time because he drinks so much. It gets to a point where she is just not at all wanting to be really next to him. Every time she looks at him, it's like, did he drink again? Is this the final straw? Should I sweep this under the rug? Typical things you go through. And so when she goes into the new criminal law, she does not expect to be pulled into a literal murder case when she's first there. So she meets up with one of her old friends from college named Zach. He's like a tech startup guru, millionaire guy who is accused of killing his wife. And you'll find out that Zach is kind of a shitty person. He is fully shitty person, but he also didn't kill his wife, or so he claimed, right? And throughout the entire time, she's trying to get him out of Rikers and understanding why he won't just go to someone else instead of her. He keeps saying it's because they know each other. They haven't talked in a decade. So why is he trying so hard to get her on her case? Well, as you'll soon find out, Zach is hiding a lot of secrets. So, he's a millionaire tech guru. He literally has no money. He must have spent it all doing different startups, and he never told anyone. So he can't even pay his lawyers. He can't pay Lizzie. He can't pay any evidence collecting that they're doing their private investigation. But he still believes Lizzie is the best person. But also, because I said he's a scummy person, he knows all about Sam's alcoholism because she's hid it from the IRS when she was doing her financial paperwork for her new lawyer firm. So he's been blackmailing her to help him. Yeah, I know. Why? It doesn't get better. It does not get better. I feel the story gets not worse because he didn't kill her, but it feels like you don't get a really good resolution because you still want him to be in trouble for something because he is just strong arming Lizzie to help him get his case off. He didn't kill her, but come on, you really had to do all this. And then you meet his wife, who is the murdered victim. Her name's Amanda. She came from a really, really bad childhood where she was abused by her father after her mother died, and at 17 ran away to go work in a motel. In that motel, she met Zach, who I assume were similar ages. I don't even know. I don't know the age difference. And for that entire time, she got with him, stayed with him. They had one kid together. The kid's currently in California for a summer camp. But Amanda, when she was alive, always felt like she could never trust her husband because he was always working. He was a typical working father who was literally never there for her. So she had always dealt with a lot of mental problems, I want to say. You later find out she actually had a lot of mental issues that she never could talk about with Zach, who never cared. There was times when she wanted to talk about her childhood and how badly her father abused her because he was, what we thought, still alive. And he never cared. He literally would sweep it under the rug. He never questioned about why she worked at a motel at 17. He never thought anything. He just wanted a wife, and he got a pretty one because everyone admitted that she was beautiful. But everyone also knew that she was troubled because she always put a smile on her face, but she never actually felt happy and never could trust any of her friends with her deepest secrets, which she had many of. One of the biggest secrets is that she believed she had a stalker throughout the entire time she was moving from place to place with Zach throughout their entire relationship. She never could feel like she can tell Zach because he's working a lot. She can't even call him. She goes through his secretary every time, who doesn't even want to let the phone call go through most of the time. So when she does get to him, he doesn't ever want to hear about it because he doesn't care. You see why, Kay? He's a scummy person. Yeah, I know. Pains at the end. Pains at the end. I get it. I get it. But because her son is in camp and will be coming back in a few months, she doesn't want these things to like fester up and let the stalker get to her. So she goes to the police station and they're trying to help, but they need more evidence. So she feels kind of shitty and defeated, but she believes she can tell more people about it as time goes on, and eventually Zach, because she doesn't want this problem to deal with her son later on. Also, if this camera is shaking, I'm sorry, my hand's on the table and I'm moving it a little bit. I'm gonna try my best to do not that. But anyway, she basically goes to this party that one of her friends was hosting, and I guess they do sex parties. So they have a sex party on the second floor where it was basically a swinger party. I should have said it was a swinger party. That happened. She doesn't do any of that. She's actually there with her husband, who left like 5 minutes later, who she had to drag to go to this party. And then when she goes home, she is basically murdered brutally. And the entire time, Lizzie's trying to figure out what happened because she has all of her diaries from when she was a kid to like current time before she was murdered. Because Amanda was a really, really avid journal writer, right? Is that what you call it? Anyway, point is, she does write and she wrote all the things that happened, all the abuse that occurred, the stalking issue she had, how she talked to her best friend about it. She had like one best friend from when she used to live in her old house because she grew up with his best friend. So only she knew the entire story. So you're basically wondering, how did this story end? Who actually killed her? What was going on? Is she like, where is the mental illness coming in? That can all be answered. But if you don't want to be spoiled, please skip to this section because I'm going to spoil everything in this story. Essentially, who killed her was one of her friend's husbands. It was Sarah's husband, Carrie, who killed her. And you kind of did not expect it at all because throughout the story, everyone had a reason to maybe have accidentally to actually killing her. And they put you through different people who may have had a reason to kill her, even if it wasn't because of Amanda. One of the people who you thought could have killed her was even Lizzie's husband, Sam, because at one point he did get drunk again, unfortunately, and he had her earring in his backpack. And he had no idea how he got that earring because he said he doesn't remember because he was drunk. So it was like, okay, well, you could have killed her. How that happened, why you would do that, how drunk were you again to have killed a person? We don't know, but your blood and evidence and earring is in her bag, right? So that became a big thing. Other people were suspected because some people would lie about an alibi to protect other people. Even Zach seemed kind of plausible because at one point it was like, you don't care about your wife, and it's very apparent you only saw her as eye candy. So maybe you did kill her. But, unfortunately, the obvious answer isn't the right one this time. And it was actually Sarah's husband. Sarah's one of her other good friends who works there. Carrie actually was a former lawyer of where Lizzie currently works at now. He lost his job because he was really sex pesting in the workplace, which got him fired. And I assume it's because of Amanda that he got fired because she worked the accounting books for a lot of the projects that Zach worked on as well, so that they can both make money. And he went to Amanda not to kill her, per his words, not to kill her. He assumed she was being nice to him because she'll give him gifts for his birthday and act more nice than most people would, even though she would always be faking the niceness because she never really felt that happy unless it was with her son. And so when she was going to die, he had followed her home to the party, and we found out he was the one who's been stalking her this entire time since she got to this new neighborhood. How did he find her and send these flowers and everything like that? I don't know. I assume because they were close, he knew basically where she lived at some point. But he did kill her. He did say that it was on accident, but like really, you like swung a golf club on her head several times. So I don't really think that was accidental. And he's considered like a bigger person, like 6 something, and it's like, yeah, I don't think, yeah. Yeah. So he killed her. So the mental illness comes in because, as I said before, she believed she was being stalked for a year. And I did kind of say that Carrie was stalking her a little bit, but she believed she's been stalked for like years. She moved to this neighborhood where her friends currently reside a few months ago. So it's not like Carrie could have followed her for years and just knew everything about her. But she was dealing with a lot of mental illness that no one could actually tell what's going on until Lizzie went to her old father's home, like somewhere, I forgot the state, I think it was Florida, and found out that her dad was killed, like when she was a kid. And apparently she killed him. Well, let me take it back a little bit. I feel like I just said a lot. But essentially, her best friend, who I talked about several times, saying that she knows everything about her because they grew up together, she essentially was also killed by the dad when they were kids. And that made Amanda kill her father because the best friend essentially found out that the father was abusing Amanda, tried to stop the father killed her, Amanda killed the father, and then she ran away. And so essentially that entire thing happened, and because she never really healed from it this entire time, she has been assuming she's been stalked by him. Even in her diary, she doesn't give anything up of saying, "Oh, I don't think he really exists," or my best friend, she was already killed. She believed her best friend and her dad were both alive during this entire time, even going out of her way to meet up with the best friend who never existed. So it doesn't show that she had any indication she even believed that they were dead, especially since she was there and had killed her own father, which is depressing. And I'm not gonna lie, that took me days to finish the book because every chapter about her was like another stone thrown at her about how bad her life was and how no one seemed to truly know what was going on until like it was literally too late. But yeah, Zach basically leaves prison. He's no longer there. He's no longer a suspect, but he also did blackmail Lizzie, so she wants to go back at him because there was a big hacking issue at the public school or private school that a bunch of the parents went to, and a few of those parents were getting explicit pictures of their own children back. So she was able to get him on hacking charges since his company had hired a bunch of people without vetting their background first. So good chance he's going right back to prison, though I'm not sure where his son is going to go when he comes back from summer camp. And that's essentially where the story ends. And if you don't know why I didn't talk more about Sam and Lizzie's relationship, it's because that's literally how it ended. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a portion where I talk about my opinion, and that's why it's a constant stream of words right now. But it is not, it's a great book. It is oppressing a book. It's depressing. Amanda had like the worst life and then died in the worst way. So nothing about her life is happy except for the fact that she did have semblance of friends, that she did have a son who she loved very much. But outside of that, she never had anyone who can give her that love back, unfortunately. So it did come off as like there is no real justice in this entire thing. I mean, yeah, the person who actually killed her is in prison, but you don't really know more about Zach having to like reconcile with the fact that he was the worst husband, didn't pay attention to anything his wife was doing. Even at the end, he never cared that she died. He was just like, well, I got the girl. And it was like his mentality. And that was Lizzie's old friend. So you really question what the heck she was doing with these friends. But in the entire book, you're like wondering, like, I hope these people get like retribution. I hope these people get justice. I need these people to get divorced. None of that happened. Sam and Lizzie, Sam did not kill Amanda. He did drink several times. And he did go to a sobriety clinic, which is pretty good, which was probably the only silver lining in this entire story because he actually was taking his sobriety seriously for once, which is fine. I mean, he could fall off the wagon, again. But I don't know. I feel like they didn't really learn much from this story because at the end of the day, she kept a lot of things within herself so that they wouldn't be teetering the boat because there was always a lie when he drinks. But he is going to sobriety, so that's good, I guess. Good for him. But then for Zach, it was like, okay, are we not going to ruin his life more? Even when she tells him that he might go to jail for hacking, they don't show his reaction. They don't talk about anything that he feels about it. The entire time we're like seeing how smug he is about having Lizzie under his thumb, how he's getting away with it, how he's literally making her work for free. It was like a whole mess. And then all she could say back is, yeah, so you're going to go to prison probably again for hacking. And it's like, okay, where's his reaction? I want to see him look upset. I want to see him look mad. I want her to cut off all these friends that she currently had because what the heck? Even the people who like were old Amanda friends, they all seemed very upset that she was dead. And I'm sure they were actually upset, but they realized none of them really knew Amanda like that. They never really seemed to like understood how much she hid from them because of how bad her tragic lifestyle is. And when the story ends, their story ended too. And it just felt to me like no one really got a semblance of an epilogue ending. Not even like a justice because we got the killer, but it was like everyone's story ended really quickly. Like every chapter is about a different person. Chapters about Lizzie, Amanda, and then some of them about the law. Who cares? But it's all of that. But to learn all of this reminded me of Criminal Minds a little bit about how they always have to show their people, like the criminals, and how they're parents abused them or whatever, and how they lived their entire life killing women or whatever. And the moment that they get caught for like the crime they've done, the story ends immediately. They just get into handcuffs and they walk away. And I'm like, we just spent an entire episode with these people, and I can't even see them look upset. I can't see them go to jail. I can't see them like be like, oh my god, like I mean, they're not gonna regret it, but like the story always ends when you finally get like an epilogue for their like actual story. And I feel like this is what this book did. And obviously the book is fine, but I looked online, I see there was a sequel, and there's literally no sequel. And I was like, so the author really just ended the book right here. Like this is how she wanted it to end. It really felt like she didn't, not to be like in the writer's mind, but it felt like she didn't know how to write a third act of a book. Like, yeah, you got the killer, that was the whole point, but like everyone's story kind of kept going and they were resolved, especially since you have to figure it out within like a few months of knowing these people. So in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I don't think this book was very good in terms of the ending, because also sad as heck, so you kind of wanted more people to either know about it, revolve in it, like understand that this is their friend that they didn't know, even if they couldn't like do anything. You know, obviously they didn't like Zach. Some people did like Zach, but it was like, what can you like? What is going to happen now that this whole thing happened? And now that we all know their story, what is the like? What is the epilogue? What is the next step? What are they going to do about it? Like one of the person's husbands got like in jail now. Like what is that going to mean for her? So I don't know. I just feel like I need a sequel. I need like an epilogue. She didn't give me no epilogue, no sequel. She thought I really cared about like the little dialogue of like the trial, and I was like, I don't care about the trial. Just been him guilty. But overall, it was a good book. But for the first book of the year, lackluster, I would say. I mean, I think anyone can write a depressing book. It's always about how you end it. And I feel like it didn't end very well, in my opinion, because I was actually looking at the sequel. I was like, there's no way she ended it. And it came out in 2020, so there would have been plenty of time. There's no sequel. So, yeah. Good book, but not as good as I want it to be. At least not for Amanda. I feel like her justice really didn't get far. Like, yeah, you caught the killer, but her whole life is dog shit because of Zach, and because not like it's her friend's fault, but because they didn't know who she really was. So I feel like she kind of ended in the same way she kind of lived, almost invisible. So it kind of gave me like a bad feeling about like the entire book. So I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 because it wasn't terrible, but I feel like it kind of felt more for Amanda than anyone else in the story. I guess Lizzie, because she's going through a rough patch with her husband. But 6.5, I will still read it personally, but like if you like a good ending, this is not one of them. Sorry to say, but it's called A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreet, some shit like that. I don't fucking know. But good book. You can find it probably anywhere. I got it from a free bookstore. I showed off several times in my videos. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's the first one of the year. Maybe not, but I did post. Anyway, point is, first book club of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, share, subscribe so you don't miss a new update from me. And I do these book clubs every month, so I have a month to finish one book, which I'm not sure why it's hard sometimes. But anyway, I will see you guys next time when I upload a new video. Bye.